Hello and welcome to Be Powerful with Liz and Lee. It's a new day and we're so glad you're here.
So you can expect to hear candid conversations on what it means to be powerful. Live authentically, live in the midst of ups and downs, productively, and above all else, joyfully.
We are so thankful for you, our community of listeners, and we hope you enjoy today's show. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Liz.
Now I feel I'm on the mic now. We are live. We are rocking and rolling.
There you are. You look lovely.
Thank you. So do you. Nice top. Yeah, it's like you're taking flight.
I might.
Yeah, you look good. You look real
Thank
good.
you. What a beautiful day.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm ready. It feels like
fall.
it's October, but it's not. It's September.
It's September.
Yeah, it's a good time.
21st night. Is that when this comes out?
Maybe. The 23rd,
2021, it is.
Yeah, that's when it's the equinox, right?
Yeah.
Or is it
There's solstice and equinox, right?
It's the equinox.
I'm going with
the occipit. Do you remember when we had this discussion
Yes.
about the occipital? Okay, because in Concord we call it the occipital equinox.
And we decided that had to do with your eye socket.
Anyways, the equinox, and that means
Autumnal.
It's the autumnal equinox, the day this is coming out. So happy equinox.
Happy equinox.
However you might decide to
celebrate
the equinox. I generally go out and bay at the moon, or is the moon up?
You do, babe?
I do sometimes.
I do.
Yeah, me and the coyotes out here on the golf course.
Well, I hope you have a great time.
Where are you going to be?
Who knows these days?
Yeah. Lee and I are having, on again, off again, and not because we choose.
We just got engaged, so we decided.
Yeah, so now we don't see each other at all.
Don't start stories.
I'm not.
Anna had her surgery for her ACL, which was incredibly intense. And so
She's doing really well.
at home nursing, and she's amazing. She's just amazing.
She is amazing. Both of y'all are.
Thanks.
Y'all work well in tandem.
Yeah, we're a good little duo.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She's a good patient. She is over the initial hump. I think there will be several humps.
There'll be humps. She's going to be off those feet for a while.
Yeah.
She's going to be on those crutches,
Flopped out on the sofa with me being like, oh, what do you want to do next?
You can't do
Can
anything.
I sing a song for you? Do you want to color?
And she's going to be...
Do you want to braid my hair? I mean...
She'll be happy to get back to school, I have no doubt.
A few more days, probably. She's got to get really steady on those crutches.
Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway, so that was
good.
We went, let's go to New York and get engaged, and let's go home and do surgery. And whoa, happy first back to school.
I'm really glad we did that podcast last week about
how great we are.
Yeah, well, but also the whole, people thought we were already engaged.
We just had to explain our story just one more time.
Yeah. And
it needed explanation.
I guess it did.
Yeah.
Because, an engagement ring generally means an engagement unless it's me and you. And then it just means whatever we diamonds. Make up. And so
it just means that's pretty. I'll have more. And I'm not going to refuse.
And so my daughter said yesterday when we were out to lunch, she goes, are you just going to keep giving her rings and we're going to call them different things? Yeah. I'm like, maybe that might be the way this rolls. We'll see.
It's a conscious coupling. We got to get all goopy about it and create a new term.
No goopy here.
Nope.
So,
all right. We'll just be Liz and Lee.
Yeah. I like it. So anyway, yesterday, speaking of our Huffington Post article, that would be me.
You are only the one taking credit for that. I always help you with things.
Yeah, but you didn't have anything to do with this
article.
This was my article that came out a year and a half ago or something, or a year ago, and they emailed me the other day and said, we're going to put it back out on Sunday. Wow! Did I already know? I would have known that had they not emailed me, because I got a lot of comments and those kind of things, which you probably don't want to read all the comments about yourself on the internet.
That's a fun one.
But I also got a really sweet email from a man that I have no idea, have never met him. He'll met me.
He'll be going through a vast vetting process before y'all go out to lunch together. But don't be a moron.
Don't be negative Nancy. All I'm getting ready to say is this was such a refreshing.
Right.
use of energy. And that's what I want to kind of touch on today is, are you going to use your energy to bring yourself and others down? Or are you just going to look at life and go, there's two people that have stepped out. I, as a person who have also had challenges in my life, will step out and wish them all the kindness and wellness and goodness that I can. And it was such a lovely email, and it was so refreshing because generally people want to comment on things with their opinion.
Yeah.
You could tell this man had dropped his opinions of whatever he might have thought initially of us and just wished us beautiful, good wishes. And
I know.
It reminded me of how I would like to treat other people, whether I agree with them or not.
Sure. I mean, it's the very simple mantra of to take the time, the energy, as you said, to write something on the negative side of a spectrum. It's kind of like, why? Right. But then to take the time to write something positive or uplifting and send that kind of energy is a why not?
Right. Why not?
I mean, and so I think the answer is pretty simple. The judgment, the trolls, the anger, the projection, the disagreement, that's fine. I just have never understood why it's so necessary for people to just write hateful.
I do.
Things.
It's their own. It's a lot of hurt they're carrying. And just to be clear, this was an article. If you're interested in reading it, it's actually on my Instagram bio.
You can link.
The link is there, and I hope you will read it because I remember really pulling that out of my guts, and you did have a lot to do with that. You helped me sort of edit my thoughts on that. And I'm proud of that piece of work that I wrote. And at the time it was right. And at this time it's right. And so, I'm really proud of that piece of work.
Good,
so
you should
if you want to read that, but yeah, back to your point, it's easy to stay low. Michelle Obama, or whoever says that, it's easy when they go low, you go high. The fact is it's harder to not react gut reaction.
Of course.
Like, how dare they? I mean, how dare, if I was a man and you were a woman, everybody would say bad things. Point being is find the light in the subject, or either, let it be. Because if you really can't find something positive or something that it will enlighten yourself and others in your comments or even your attitude toward those people,
sure,
you're just bringing the whole vibration of all of us down to a bad level.
Right. And we've created platforms where people can just write and say and post and do whatever they want, and freedom of speech and all of that. And, I'm able to just laugh at most of it and go, okay. I mean, yeah. Like, maybe I would have that thought too, but I've just never gotten behind being able to really spend an effort and comment and just be so aggravated. And I'm glad I can let it roll off because I know that doesn't matter. I mean, sweet Stacy the other day in class just said, I wish everybody knew you, knew that y'all were. She gave lots of compliments. It's hard for me to even say that about ourselves. But instead of just a story on a piece of paper or on TV or whatever, I mean, that we are just nice people.
We're doing the best we can.
We really love each other and all our clients and all of that. So it just seems like a proliferation of good joy and happiness. So I was thankful that she said that. Thanks, Stacy.
Yeah, that was nice. And I take every compliment, but I equal them out with the negativity.
Sure.
And all of it should just be sort of like, when I hear a compliment, I know that person is coming from a good place. And when I hear a negative comment, I know that person is coming from a tough place. And they may very well mean business with that comment. But I just say, before you say it out loud, say it inside and think, what's the point? What's the point of these words? So I mean,
because it only affects you.
Right.
The writer. The author,
the writer or the thinker.
The thinker. Thinks thoughts are way valuable.
Thoughts are powerful. Words are more powerful. And actions are super powerful. And so this morning I was thinking about, and that kind of leads me to what's going on in my head today. I was thinking about the things we say to ourselves, right? Our self-talk to one another, to each other. I am these days, and I think it's part of being older, maybe, because I've lived a long time on this planet. And I can bypass the initial gut reactions maybe
Sure.
to a negative situation more than I used to be able to do. Really much easier. It's becoming almost effortless. I can just see where I'm going in my thoughts, and I'm like, really, is that where you really want to go here?
Sure.
Or do you want to increase your vibration and the person you're thinking about and see where that could be positive or where that could be impactful to not only that human, but to yourself. But then I thought the things I say to myself sometimes, or we say to ourselves, are so mean. How many times have I, and I'm
called me out for that.
You can call me out for it too. Sometimes I'm like, maybe. I don't say them out loud.
I know. I'm like, you're pretty good.
No, I'll be in front of a makeup mirror sometimes and I'll go, damn, Liz. I'll look in the mirror like you shouldn't have done, but I've got to give myself the same grace that I would give my grandson or the people I love the most, because until we can love ourselves that much, we're not really any use to anybody.
Right. I heard someone kind of say it this way, until you can show up for yourself, you can't show up for other people. Until you can love yourself, you can't love other people to that degree of it. And if we're so used to practicing and seeing and being trained to just throw daggers, without any repercussions, then that's what we're going to continue to do. I mean, we've lost a little bit of an element of the ability to just have discussions that are productive, disagreements that grow productivity. And now we're just able to, behind our, safe walls at home, just put daggers out into the world, either on social media or in our thoughts or in friend groups or wherever.
Yeah. Cause you always believe you're on the side that's right and the other one's on the side that's wrong. And until we all entertain the fact that neither one of us is right or wrong, that we're all trying to do the best for ourselves and for the people we love and for the planet, then we can't come to any sort sort of helpful conclusion about our opinions are just like, as they say,
what?
Asses, everybody's got one.
They're what? Asses?
Yeah. I was going to go deeper than that, but no, I won't. That would be too graphic.
You turned away. I'm like, what are you saying? Okay, well, that makes sense.
Everybody's got an opinion, and it really doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter what your opinion is, right? It just doesn't matter. What matters, I think, is health and feeling good and living life to our fullest. And there's something about the beauty to me of coming into the equinox, coming into fall, and feeling the change of season and feeling the, am I boring you? Are you okay? Should I like boil some, water and make you some hot tea? I mean,
oh God, I was trying so hard. I've been wanting to yawn for like a long time. So this is
apparently going really well.
Swallowing. Oh, it's really hard to be a nurse.
You've got the whole straw in the cup thing down.
Well, I'm trying to get some water to get the brain flow going. Like I feel great, and your stories are excellent.
Oh, my stories are just mesmerizing.
Forgive my yawn. I just had to get it all the way out and hope that was the last one.
Yeah. So I mean, you've not got.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have another one. I'm good. It's like a sneeze. Now it won't happen.
This is funny. Okay, cool.
Sorry.
No, I'm good.
Continue on.
No, I'm good. I want to see. No,
you have so much.
Wisdom. No. All right. Let's just talk about self-help for 1 second.
Okay.
Self-talk. Your body doesn't know when you're saying, oh my God, I'm so fat, or I need to lose weight, whether it's true or not. Your body is listening to all not only your words, but your thoughts. Maybe you're not saying it out loud, but you're like, oh, look at me in the mirror.
You feel it.
I can see that I really need to lose weight here. I really need to do this. I need to work out more. I need to get on some crazy ass diet. I need to need. How about I look in the mirror at my body and I go, what a vessel. I get to live in this. I'm movement. I've got you and me. We've both got legs that work, arms that work. Everything's working. That should be the greatest thing ever.
Absolutely.
Many, many people don't have that. And life is short. And we have had a friend that has passed away recently. And the older I get, the less that feels shocking and unreal. And the more it makes me feel grateful for the breath I have.
That's right.
And to carry on in her stead, continue maybe that the person that you've loved or known that has passed on, continue some of their best parts of those people.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm more aware of the end is closer than it is for
Of
many.
course. Well, we all
I
know
love
it's
that.
going to happen. So, I mean,
Yeah.
not necessarily even being older has to change that. Of course, it puts it more into play. And, speaking of our friend who did pass away, she was in a video that we did for the studio, like a promotional video a long time ago. And I kind of watched it over and over. And I think the hard part, is the physicality, first off, of someone who leaves us, not seeing her face or her presence, or just that's such a strange thing for me. And then everything she brought to the planet as a mom, as a wife, as a client, as a friend, as a smart individual, beautiful woman. And like to see her strength there in that moment, and to know that for her is gone, it really has to empower us to be our strongest selves.
Even more in our body.
Yeah.
And I think that was that's a great point. I mean, just the physicality of life is, I think I will miss that most of all. I would think when I die. I mean, it's like
obviously
I saw her in that image. We just kept pulling that video up. I saw her determination.
Right.
And when I think of her, I think of determination, of her beauty and her steely sort of, I've got this kind of
grit.
And that's what she leaves me. And she leaves other people different things. And
so what is it that we want to leave, right? And so how are we going to live, and what things are we going to say to ourselves? And you said, when there's a million ways we self-talk to ourselves, but I need this, I need that. There's a little bit of that I am, I am, and which part of that balance seesaw are you going to call yourself today? I am alive, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am helpful, instead of all those things we can tend to put ourselves down about.
Every time you start to say, I need to, then instead say, I am.
Get to.
I get to.
Yeah.
How many times have I said to myself, Liz, you need to meditate. You just need to meditate. Well, you know what that's doing? That's raising my freaking cortisol levels to a point where I definitely need to meditate, right? But instead of saying, I need to do thus and so, pay attention to what Liz needs, what Lee needs, what you need, and what is inside of you that you need. Maybe you just need to get outside in nature and go for a walk with your person or with yourself, which is your main person, and feel a connection to ourselves.
And the earth.
Yeah. And say that again. Instead of saying, I need to,
I get to.
I get to.
Well, a perfect example, I mean, I can't speak for them, but like your daughter now living at home away from St. Jude, parenting a child with cancer, another acquaintance of our Laura Palmer, a local woman who same thing, like I'm watching her on Instagram, really saying how, we've got all the day-to-day things, and now she gets to be at home living what we can, air quotes, call the mundane, tedious aspects of life, and gets to reframe kind of the joy and all of those.
What is the joy of life?
And so we can't wait on a cancer diagnosis, a friend to die, a parent or child. Yes, we can. But I mean, we all know that too, but we just have to continue to repeat to ourselves the things we get to do, the wonderful people that we are, and then share that, because that's the only way to kind of thrive.
I agree. And I've said this one before. My 9-year-old grandson has a sense of mortality that he would never, and that is a gift. That is a gift from his cancer. That he would have never had. He's not going to tell you like, oh, I have this sense of mortality.
Sure.
You can see it in him. He has a sense of life. Like he gets living life and he has a good time with it, and I think that all of these things are reminders, losing a friend or things befalling loved ones or illness or sickness or whatever comes our way during life. I get to, at least I end up, maybe you're you're sick. I get to heal. I get to do this. I love that. That is that's our watchword today.
Okay.
I get to live.
Right. I get to be in this body that I'm, talk poorly about,
Right.
and
Right.
I want it to be here as long as I can.
So how are we going to do that?
I know. Well, it's exactly what we said.
Let's
Number one
tell
is
them
that
by telling ourselves.
practice muscle, right? The more you say one thing, the more it's easy to repeat, and that creates a habit. And so what kind of habits am I going to foster? And so those are just words, but it comes down to the actions too. So anytime we're stuck, anytime we're feeling low, I think we're always going to say that movement, that go on the walk, the get out. And that allows you to become more in tune with yourself and your thoughts.
Let's go back to Lee in the mirror.
Okay.
When you go, I need to, I'm going to quote you. You just stood in front of me and said, I need to get rid of this middle-aged spread. I was like, yeah, that's interesting.
Well, it's a really weird balance of like, it's there and just forget it. I'm good.
Yeah. Or look at me. I am now close to, I guess you are middle-aged. You're 44 years old if you're only going to live to be like 88 or something.
No,
hopefully.
I'm not middle-aged.
Yeah. Well, you're getting there. Hey, I'm old. I admit that, right? But I'm not done yet.
No, ma'am.
And so things happen in our body. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this today too, and your hormones.
Well, it doesn't happen to your body.
Oh, yes, it does. Are you kidding me? Everybody's body changes as we age.
Right.
We are a big sack of hormones. We really are. And those things change a lot. And I really think that, and I just want to say a little bit about menopause and women and perimenopause. And yes, you're 44 years old. And yes, your hormones are beginning to change. And yes, you're probably in the beginnings, or maybe you're in perimenopause. Maybe you should go and check your hormones and see what that looks like. And if you're doing that, then you'll go, I see what's going on. We can't keep doing what we did when we were 16, 26, 36, 46, when we're almost 70.
Right.
For instance, I've got this workout called Hilliard Studio Method. I can't go pound the pavement and do high rep, high, impact exercises anymore. Nor do I want to.
Nor should anybody be.
And especially, does my body need it? My body needs that sustained cardiovascular work that I get through this workout that I do, that I get through walking the neighborhood with you, that sustains my body and keeps it strong and healthy. Again, the body doesn't know the difference between a high impact, do 1,000, jumping jacks, and then you hit the pavement and you do 25 burpees, and your body doesn't know the difference between that stress and the stress you put yourself in mentally sometimes.
Right.
What happens with stress? Cortisol levels rise, and you sometimes can be dealing with a weight gain.
Right.
Weirdly. And so people go, I've just tried. I'm exercising all the time. I know I'm getting off on a tangent, and I'm going to do it for a minute.
Go.
I've been trying so hard to lose weight, and I'm working out like 6 days a week, and I'm doing all these things, and I'm still not losing the pounds. Well, maybe they need to not do those things. Maybe they need to rethink she's yawning again. Rethink the workout. You need some sleep.
Keep going.
Rethink the workout and rethink their quality of life.
Right.
And go, maybe instead of hitting all these hardcore, I'm going to run this marathon, damn it, if it kills me, which it might, I'm going to go and meet my friend or go with my spouse and go on a walk after dinner tonight and be out in nature and feel the organic raising of the organic, that sounds silly, but the natural rising of the cardiovascular to that beautiful place where it's just calm and your cortisol levels drop, your heart rate goes up just to that place, and you're fueling your body and your mind.
Natural reset.
Now, do you need a nap? Because I'm afraid to talk again.
God, no wonder I'm having middle-aged spread of no sleep, so that we know that
you've got a 14-year-old toddler at home. I mean, Anna, sorry.
Yes.
I hope you didn't hear that. No. But no, it's a lot. Yeah.
Right. But that is a thing. Sleep is an important one for homeostasis in your body.
Right.
So yeah, I've got some work to do.
Well, and these are just the times of your life, but you know that.
I know that.
You know that.
That's right. And when you know that, then you can manage it better.
One of our clients asked me today, she goes, remind me again. She goes, when you go on vacation, what do you and Lee do? I'm
Oh,
like,
like to work out, or what do we
to
do?
work out. I said,
Nothing.
absolutely nothing. Now, our cortisol levels stay high because we're working, and working out 5-6 days a week at the studio. I would say 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And our business is workout. But when you go on vacation, yours is different. I hope you'll take your straps and do all these things. But
Right.
there's something about eating and drinking and just not worrying about every bite we're putting into our mouths, and not have some wine, for God's sakes.
Yeah, no,
have a good time.
I don't really worry about it.
Yeah. And
No, and I mean, we take that back. I don't know, especially on the longer trips we've taken, I don't do nothing at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
we're
move.
active,
We're moving.
walking or biking, or sometimes we'll have to go
active
into
tourists.
a gym. I mean, it is a real part of what I need more mentally and physically, just to feel some exertion. And so everybody's different. But the point being that that's when we unplug that out from that outlet that we're always in 300.
Yeah, a lot of days
30,
of the year. 300,
40.
a lot of days of the year.
44 days of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you run a restaurant, you just need to that's when you're on vacation. I'd say go do something totally different. Get yourself nice and physical and active, or, go to a sewing class. I don't know. Do whatever's different. Do the different thing that makes
Get out
you
of your
happy.
box. Get out of your comfort zone.
And just have fun.
Detach and, play with the other parts of you.
Now, here's a question.
This better be good.
Why do we have to wait for vacation?
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
Are we going to London?
Well, you said vacation, so I thought we should. I'd like a tea and crumpet, please.
So, right.
No, we don't. And I mean, I think that's the untethering from our usual structures.
And again, it's like we don't have to need to do it, but we have to choose to do it. So the choice I'm looking at, my next little choice thing for the end of September into October, is to make the choice every day to really play. I mean, I do that a lot because as my mother said, I was a hedonist when I was born. So I mean,
so you picked a not hard.
My self-care is
to do.
I'm all good with this self-care situation, but
that's funny.
I there can be more. More is more when it comes to self-care.
We know.
I mean,
so what are you going to do?
Me?
Do tell, Miss Preacher.
I'm going to get outside where it's beautiful and it's I can get into the woodsy area of Myers Park neighborhood or something. I'm just
like go on a walk?
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
Yeah. Well, don't blame me for it.
No, I'm just saying. I thought you were coming up with.
Oh no, I'm gonna go, hang out with for instance, my grandson this afternoon.
Right.
And so it was like, what are we gonna do? We're just going to hang around. He likes to get on and make videos. We might make a video. We might do whatever we want to do. And I'm just going to hang with him and just enjoy that I get to do that. I mean, being in the moment, I know I'm not answering your question.
No,
it
you're
really
not.
doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Yeah, you're sleeping anyway. I mean, you're yawning over there. You just need to lay down.
Here.
Yeah, they're probably yawning at home. I mean, y'all, we are here for your nap time.
No,
this is about you getting your rest.
Yeah. No, I just want to clarify because you were talking about you're going to play more, and I get that. And I don't know.
Not an organized sport or anything. Just I don't know. I just hadn't been a movie lately by myself in the afternoon. It's time to do that. It's time to do something.
That's not playing. That's sitting still. Doing a video is sitting still.
She just judged my play.
I did.
She just judged my play.
I did.
My play is my play, baby. You can play the way you want to.
Fine.
Yeah. We all have a different way of playing. It doesn't have to be physical, especially if you're physical all the time.
Okay, I'm not judging you anymore. You can not look at me like that. That's funny. Okay, but I think the thing is, let's circle back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's circle back. Self-talk. Mm-hmm. That's great that you don't negatively self-talk yourself.
I do though, but not all the time.
Okay,
not as much as you
said
do.
one thing.
Judging, and I should.
And we're even. About sitting in the mirror and being like, but what do you do with that? Like, is it just wisdom and age and time? Like, what do you physically do with that?
You practice going. My other one is lizard when I call myself lizard when I'm really mad in the shower. I'll do that because I'll get in the shower in the morning because I like to. Anyway, never mind. I do like to shower. I do like to tan and then work out. That's my thing. So I'll get in there and I'll go and I'll think of the things I didn't do or I should have done. Another should have done.
Yeah.
And I'll go lizard. And then I just, that's when I use my water system. I use the water and I just go, and it's over. And that just takes practice to forgive yourself for that constant judging and to let it go in whatever way you can let it go and just move on and find the benefit to breathing.
Well, I find it interesting that you have a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas and first thing in the morning.
I do.
Is that from overnight worry or you just wake up with the motors going? Because I'm just like, I got to get dressed and get to the
I wake
studio.
up with motors raring in my head. Yeah.
That's probably bodes well for what's happening at night, like a full let go and a work through of all your subliminal subconscious. And then you wake up and you start going. So you let the water and then you yell at yourself and let the water rush over you and you're better.
I don't yell at myself very often anymore, but when I do.
But when you need to step in, you step in.
I step in and protect myself.
Okay. So that's
From my
your
ego
morning
self.
practice. And what do you tend to beat yourself up about? Or shoulda about?
Mostly
things
should.
done?
For instance, I woke up in the middle of the night and went, I really should have tipped that waitress more. Wait, was that an automatic tip? I mean, this is ridiculous stuff that I'll wake up and think about. And, or just things like that. Just nonsense. Nonsense, self-criticism. Not self-criticism about my larger decisions in life. I have thought those through.
You're like
I'll
done with
by
the
me.
whole
I stand
ego
by
thing.
me. Yeah.
You're just daily stuff. Okay.
Yeah, this is my daily, I should have filled the car up with gas or something. I don't know. Bullshit like that.
Well, then, I mean, I don't think you're like most people.
How is that?
I mean, do you think you came into that 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s? Or you're just never been a negative self-talker to yourself about yourself?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I remember being very unhappy at times in my 50s, like 40s and 50s, and really putting it all on me.
Okay.
Like something is really deeply wrong with you, Liz, and just like just really having a lot of self-hatred, self-loathing.
Self-loathing, self-doubt.
And I felt it, and whether I said it or not, I thought it. And the body, again, doesn't know the difference. Your body is going to react to whatever's going on in your head, coming out of your mouth, certainly your actions. And yeah, I had a really low self-esteem. And
I'm not saying that's
many times.
the norm or it should be that way, but I do think there's times when people experience that. So I just wanted to make you a little more normal
I am normal
for the rest of us.
I'm older and I have done my work and I'm continuing to do my work on myself, which is about self-forgiveness. I don't even have to forgive myself anymore. I mean, I do. I mean, I make faux pas a lot. I mean, if you know me, you know that's the truth. But the big stuff, like the big stuff that I've done, which I've done some big stuff that has hurt other people because of the actions I've taken. I've forgiven myself for the things that honestly, my actions have almost always in the last 10 years been out of a pure heart.
Yeah, lined up.
They have lined up out of pure heart. They have come off very, very hard for people I love.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep forgiving myself for that. I'm standing by myself in that. And that's power. That's the most powerful thing I've ever done.
And that's owning it and being responsible and not being self-critical of knowing if you practice self-doubt, then some of those big things that you're talking about doing might not be done in alignment.
Right.
So then if you can lose, is this what you're saying, ? If you can take care of that and let go of that self-critique, self-doubt.
But no, you got to go deep in though. First, you've got to see the underbelly of self-doubt. You got to see that beast because that beast is ugly and scary and bloody. And you got to get in there with the beast and you got to live with it and sleep with it and eat with it and be with it. And that beast is your fear of you not being enough, of you not making the correct decision because you doubt who you are. But when you can get into the underbelly of who you are, like, yeah, I know I'm this way.
Then you're actually dealing with it instead of scraping the surface.
I'm not going, I'm going to let that go. The shower is not washing that shit off.
Right.
That stuff is deep work. The stuff those showers washing off is, I should have tipped that girl more.
Yeah.
No, this deep stuff is hard work. And when I see people younger than me, which most people are, I have such compassion and empathy now that I learned from having compassion and empathy for myself.
Exactly.
And you don't really know that. And so that's what I'm saying. Until you love yourself, how can you love these other people? You can try,
Right.
but until you really understand that love of yourself.
Yeah. And then I think, I'm being thoughtful about my actions and my thoughts and kind of scratching the surface. I mean, I think I do suffer from that a little
I
bit.
know you
And
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, tell me if you agree. I don't mean I'm suffering, but that is my practice of maybe skimming the surface
Yeah.
in order to just keep it at bay
Right.
instead of to bring it up and actually deal with it. And that just takes what? Time?
It takes practice.
Practice.
It just takes practice, and it takes having somebody in your life. I think
Like
you
you,
got me, and
100%.
I will always build you and boost you, and know that you struggle with that. And you don't love people because they're perfect. And you don't love them for their faults. You love them for the people the soul you see in them. I mean, like, you could be a boy, for God's sakes. It's you,
Yeah.
the you-ness in
Right.
you.
No, I get that.
And so I see your struggle, but I also see your strength. And nobody could be as insecure as I once was when I was 16, 20, whatever I was. I have many lifetimes in this lifetime. And I love my 16-year-old. I love my 26-year-old me.
Yeah.
When I was terrified of life. And then you've got your own things to deal with. And the things we deal with are things we've absorbed and we've swallowed whole, like that self-doubt about what I'm supposed to be, who I'm supposed to act like.
Yeah. And that's what I want to say about who I am, really. And that journey through all of that is, self-care. You have to stop over caring about everybody else and what they think of you. And so when I have that people-pleasing, approval junkie personality, then it's always external. And so it's going to be a step harder, I think, higher for me to really go back to caring about myself.
Well, it's just practice. But here's the other thing about yourself. You're over caring. You're caring of all the people in the world. Like, you are a caretaker. That's a beauty also.
Sure.
As long as you get it in line with loving yourself just as much as you care for the other people. I mean, I love the way you care for me. I want you to care for yourself equally that much.
That's right. And I mean, I
don't stop the caring. Keep it going.
Exactly.
Just bring it inside too.
Right. Balance that out a little bit more.
And this just takes time.
It's martyrdom. Right. I mean, that's not attractive.
Well, people love Joan of Arc. I don't know. They thought she was attractive when she died at 17.
Yeah, that's not the goal. See, right?
That's not the goal.
No. But it is. It's a really good time. I mean, I think anytime you have a seasonal shift change, that's a great time, like we're in now, to go in, to go deep, to practice, to, become more self-aware of what we, first of all, are saying to ourselves, and then practice that I get to, and then find those sources of our life that we can plug into that are maybe a little bit different, that bring us a different thought, a unique feeling.
Bring us more into homeostasis, as in self. Bring us more into that homeostatic self. And I think going into fall and then into winter, which I know I'm always cold, but it is literally my favorite thing to go into, is diving into winter. And people think I'm nuts, but here's my point. I know when I go there, it's going to be dark, and I'm comfortable in the dark because I've had to live there. It's where I do my work, that inner work. And the winter time of our lives and the winter time of the seasons are places to do the inner work too. So it's just a reminder, of the days are shorter. Life is good. Let's live those hours of the day that are sunlight and beautiful to our best of our joy and love. That's what we're doing.
Perfect.
So
I shouldn't say more. That was really good.
Are you not sleepy?
No, I am sleepy. So it's an excuse. That was well said. So we should wrap it up on that. And I will start drooling in a minute.
She does drool a lot in her sleep.
We need to shave. Our legs are bumping against each other.
No, I know that's not a we statement. That would be a me. She's being really kind now. She's saying,
no, me too,
need to shave.
Me too.
No,
me too.
No, you're all smooth. I'm not. That's okay. Got some prickles.
Oh my God.
All right. So happy Equinox. Occipital equinox if you're
no.
from Concord.
Oh my God, we'll leave it there. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for listening to us today, wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can now find our podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. If you liked it, please share, rate, and review. We love 5 stars. And we hope you'll work out with us online or in studio at HilliardStudioMethod.com.